I think that was a great talk from Isaac. It's great to, I guess I knew most of the background of a company and a product that I love. I was also especially excited by the BoJack Horseman reference. I don't know how many of you got that. They made the same reference, so I think we have like minds. I'm also incredibly honored to be the first non-npm speaker, non-npm Inc. speaker at the npm conference. So I am Wolf Rentzsch, one of the few people whose names can fit into an emoji. And I work on this thing called Tonic. And you might remember the name Tonic, or you might have heard of it. And that's probably because you go to this website a lot. And over there, in the sidebar of every single package on npm's website, is a link to our website, where you get to try out Node packages right in your browser. So this is what the page looks like if you actually to click on it. And you can see I clicked on load dash here. So you have a little text entry field here. And we've even written the hardest part of it for you, the require for you. So then zoom in on it a little bit here. And you can type some code and can hit the run button, and stuff happens. Amazing. Stuff happens. You see there's a little result down there. And so I typed in a little bit of code, hit the run button, and you get a result. So the thing that I want to call attention to is the things that you didn't have to do. You didn't have to think of a name, right? Naming and cache validation, right? Two hard things. Like, I don't know about you, but I always punt anyway. I just always named everything foo. That turns out to be a problem. So you don't have to create another directory called foo that doesn't mean anything. You don't have to initialize a bogus package.json. That's because you want to try this one package out. Don't have to save it or anything like that. And you don't have to, then, by the way, this is my, I want to show the agnostic here. I use the $ editor so no one beats me up for anything. You don't have to create another file, right? Just require it, right? Just remove all the friction, make it seamless. It's linked right from the npm package page. It's totally easy. You can start exploring the package immediately. So we like to think of Tonic is where code starts. So you're like, oh, I want to do this thing. Oh, I bet there's a package for it. Because guess what? Since there's 1,000 of them, you're probably right. And you just do some searches, click on it, start typing some code, start exploring. So a couple things I want to call out about this page, because a lot of it isn't obvious. The first thing that is very non-obvious is that we support a bunch of different nodes at the same time. So if you want to say, oh, this chunk of code, how does it run an older version of Node, because that's what we have deployed, or how does the future look for me? It's very easy. It's a pop-up menu. Hit run again, you get the output. The other thing that I want to call attention to is the URL on top here, right? So as immediately, so you start playing with this package, right? So it's a brand new package. You want to explore it. You want to get some work done, and it starts building up, right? It's like, oh, this is actually working. I'm getting feedback. This is something that actually makes sense to me. So that URL, while you're typing, we've saved all your work, right? And you click on that link. It's now a notebook. So now it's ready for even more work. And it's at a permanent URL that you can share with people. So the idea here is that make it seamless, right? Nothing to install, to start using, start exploring. Switch engine on the fly. MVM, I love you, but a pop-up menu is even easier. We want to make this a great JavaScript development experience. Even if you're using an older node, we'll use Babel and actually a custom superset of Babel. So you can use things like async await. You can use const, even when you're targeting node 10 or 010. So we want to make it easier, because this is your top level where you're playing with it, we're playing with a new package, and you want to see how it works. That can be, even if you have to use an older node to support an older package or something, you still can be in the future. We're a website, so we can do all sorts of cool stuff that terminals can't do, like visualizers, which I'll tell you about. I already mentioned auto-saving. As you're typing, we're always saving. That URL is shareable. Pass it around. You no longer have this directory that has a package file in there. Well, I guess maybe you throw in Dropbox or something like that to show it to someone else. It's just already there. And something that I won't get into now, but it's also reusable, that notebooks can require other notebooks. So I want to talk a little bit about how, because we're a website, we can give you like a better experience of a console kind of development experience, a live development experience. So if you use the Chrome or Safari web inspectors, you know how great they are at like showing you the little icons for different types of objects and drilling down and giving you a great display that I love Node's REPL, but when you type Node and it's like it's as good as pretty much you can get in a textual form, but we all know that the web development experience with inspectors is really fantastic. It is now. So we have visualizers like you would have in the Chrome inspector or Safari inspector. Like all the ones on the left, you can just assume that you'd get, everyone should have them. But the ones on the right are something a little bit special, that we will detect when things look like HTML and we'll render it for you. If it looks like you're getting data back, then you can say, display this as a chart. This is all that's built in. Don't have to download a package for this. This is what our object inspectors can do. Buffers. This is really great when you're dealing with binary data and you want to actually see some ASCII embedded in a stream of bits. URLs, nice little hidden feature here is that if this thing looks like a URL, we'll just go get it for you. And then so it's really easy. You don't even have to download a separate package. We'll just fetch it for you and show you the results. Our regular expression object inspector is great for iterating on a regular expression. I don't know about you, but I tend to be often like off by one or like what's that special character or something. So this is not just me trying to put in a sneaky reference to a Swedish band. This is me actually like showing you that what the A's are highlighted, that we will show you visually where your patterns match. And one of the nice things about Tonic is that we also support GeoJSON, that when things look like coordinates, like latitude and longitude, we'll put up a map and put some pins on there for you automatically. This is an interesting little project a guy wrote where there's a website that shows bike share stations in Barcelona. And so he just like hit that API, got a list of GeoJSON, and we already knew how to display it. So I mentioned the best possible JavaScript. So like I said, even if you're using an older node, even if you have to go to like a node 0.10, node 0.12, you still can use all your modern features that we have in node 6, including stuff that we don't even have yet, a way to sync. So I want to talk a little bit about correctness. And I'm glad Isaac brought up semantic versioning. There's obviously a lot of play there. But I want to talk about things we take for granted that don't necessarily map onto correctly functioning software. So the mental model here is philosophical, that you can't step in the same river twice. River keeps on moving, so dip your toe in twice, and it's a different river, right? So imagine you npm install something. You go away for a day. You nuke your node modules directory, and then you install again. The question is, you've run npm install twice. Are those bits identical? Apparently. So the answer is, am I still mic? Okay. The answer is, it depends. Even if your own dependencies haven't been updated, if you have the same package JSON and you do an update, even if your semantic versioning allows like a version upgrade for, say, bug fixes, even if those didn't change, even if your package.json didn't change, maybe some other dependency 3 levels down changed. So one of the things we want to do is that we want to have reproducibility. So we want to have notebooks be able to be used for, given this version of Node and this package, this is the output, and that is consistent for the end of time, right? We want to be able to allow people to use notebooks and rely on the results. So what we do is that we internally timestamp all packages we've downloaded. And then, when you ask for it, we've written a file system we call module.fs that does the math and temporarily tracks things so that essentially we're running shrink wrap for you all the time. So you get that reproducibility for free. So this is not an actual command, so I don't recommend you actually try to do this. But we have. So we want to make all of npm's power, all the community's amazing contributions, we want to make it instantly available. So we thought about a model like downloading on demand type stuff. We didn't want to have to wait 200 even milliseconds, right? We just want to have everything there immediately all the time. So we did that. We've downloaded all of npm ahead of time. That means, yes, every package and every version of that package. And this is updated in real time. So any of you guys pushing right here instead of listening to me, publishing modules, is on Tonic right now. So how do I do this? Well, npm is really great. They have that CouchDB heritage, right? And they've always been very free with their data, right? And so one of the endpoints is this, npm has this thing called skimdb, right? It used to be like they use Couch and they put not only just the packages, not just like the metadata for the packages, but also the package data itself, like tarballs, inside of Couch. That was a bunch of scaling issues that Isaac mentioned there before. They had to get away from that. So for a long time, they had the full fat database that had the packages, and they had the skim database that just had the metadata. Well, now they had to shut down full fat because that couldn't scale. So they just had skim. So skim is what we use. And so we have this Couch feed that we're constantly listening to. We get the changes in real time, and we download the tarballs. We extract them, put them in our database, and it's instantly available. So in your notebook, so you can immediately go over, type in the npm.js URL with the package name in it, click the Tonic link, and we're already there. We're your latest version. So I thought, since we've downloaded everything, I could give you some interesting statistics here. These are the numbers I just got from last night, well over 300,000 packages. What people don't talk about, though, it's probably because it's like less easy to access, is how many versions of those packages. And so I was hoping we'd break 2 million so I could put on my party hat here and we all could celebrate together. I guess we're going to celebrate together anyway, so it's not really a big deal, but we're darn close. Because we've downloaded every single tarball and we extracted them all so they all could be instantly ready, I get to do a file count here. So that 162 million files currently in npm. That's a lot. That ends up taking up 3.2 terabytes of data currently. So we did npm install and got that all working. And so we have every single package ready, right? But then we're like, well, we're doing this talk. And like, these stats are really interesting, really amazing. It's amazing we can pull that off. But what crazy things could we do for this talk? So what we thought is that, what would happen if we just tried to require everything? And I don't know, I think that almost looks like a Japanese emoji thing, like a bunny or maybe. But the idea is like, we got 300,000 packages. What happens if we just iterate through all of them and require them? And towards that end, we're like, well, what interesting statistics could we have? Well, we already have this custom file system, module.fs. So we'll instrument it to emit some data. So we could what's going on? That turns out to take 3 weeks. Yeah, it took a while. But it all boils down to this lovely chart. So I can give you some insights that no one else has, because no one else is crazy enough to try to do this stuff. Average npm package, when you require it, just tries to open 68 files. That's a little bit higher than I expected, but is not outrageous. Of course, there's always outliers. The biggest was 7,000 files, 7,800. There's one crazy package out there that really likes to stat the file system, does it 22,000 times. But probably the interesting thing is how much data does actually get read. And that weighs in at just about 0.5 megabyte that actually reads in. And the maximum is 74 megabytes. I'm thinking someone put their photo album in npm or something. I don't know. So I was wondering whether Isaac would try out this chart, but I thought maybe it will come later. I think this is a fantastic chart. And it's really important. So the website is modulecounts.com. And this is the growth of npm compared to all other package managers. And you can see the trend across them all is generally increasing. And that's a great thing. I think it's really healthy in terms of community health for developers to be sharing their work. And it helps us all, right? This is why we're all here. We all know this. But npm stands above. And it is amazing. JavaScript is a very welcoming language, and npm is a very welcoming package manager. This is the growth of all time. You can see this. That's one of those exponential curves that freaks out people when you actually are on the implementation side of things. But as users, we really benefit from this. So this is not a small thing, right? npm is amazingly successful, the most successful thing out there. And small modules, I'm so glad Isaac brought this up in his talk, right? It's not, don't get me wrong, npm has an advantage that there's this small modules type of philosophy that helps bring these numbers up for npm. But I think even without that philosophy, the numbers would be above the rest. This is not a small thing because I think this is the future of programming. Like us all breaking down the problems into composable chunks, into finer and finer grained ways that make it more composable so that we can spread the load and spread the wealth. And that's why I'm so excited to be able to use npm to build my projects, to contribute to npm, to help other people solve the problems I've solved. And with Tonic, make it a little bit easier for us all to use the bounty of npm. Thank you.